Okay, let me that okay.
I thought that was her too.
I thought that was her.
You sound like a Siri. I see you sound like Alexa or something, bro. Because that mug
You know,
sounded
you've
just
told me
like
that
you.
before. When we went to Taco Bell, we were in your car and we went to Taco Bell and we were like super high. And you're
I
like, why do you sound
remember
like
that.
Siri? And
Oh
you were
my
looking at me, you're like, why do you sound like Siri? And I was like, do I? You're like, you suggested something. You're like, I should do something. It wasn't the
wow.
podcast, but that'd be funny if it was. It was something. You were like, you should do voiceover, something you were saying
What
with
if
my
it was
voice.
like GPS directions?
Yeah, you probably. That was so long ago. Well, not long ago, but that time in my life, I was like, I don't know. I think my
Me
son
too.
had just turned 2, and then I was just really struggling, like what you like, like insecurity.
Yeah.
You're like, just stare in the mirror and say, "You are that bitch. You are." You know, just stare. You got it. You're beautiful, boo. And that's what I was telling you the other day. I was like, that meant so much because like I don't know. I went home and I did it like that day. I
Oh,
did because I was so insecure with just I don't know, just life put me down. That's why I ended up, living with my dad, just all the stuff that was happening in Florida and with my son's dad. And I felt so just not me.
yeah.
So that meant a lot. I won't tear up, but I did. I went in the
Girl,
mirror. I was like, I
yeah.
am that bitch. I remind myself I am fuckwittable. Like I was like talking so much stuff in the mirror. And I did. I put a bunch of like affirmations on sticky notes. Like you told me so much.
Oh
I
man,
did.
I feel bad. Girl, I be spitting that stuff out like water. I don't even be remembering half the time. So
That's how I am now. I'm like, did I say that? They're like, yeah, that was so wise. And I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe.
no,
Maybe.
seriously. That
Yeah, it
is
was beautiful. I mean, you were like we was smoking, we was toking and we went to Taco Bell. We were like in the line, but they were taking forever. And I was just like, how are you so confident like with your music? And you're like, it took a lot for you to do that. It takes a lot
yeah.
for you to do that. And you're like, just stare in the mirror, just stand in the mirror and just say that you were hype. You were like, just say you are that bitch. You're beautiful. Look at your smile. Look at your eyes. Look, you're like, just look at your face and just I don't know, you were like I don't even think you knew you were doing it, but it meant so much to me. I'm like, at that time in my life, you just need someone to just
For
hype
sure.
you up. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you were that for me. I don't think I met someone like you there. Like you remind me of my friends that were in Florida. Like you were like
Yeah.
just like we gotta make it. We're gonna make it. We're beautiful. We got
Yes,
talent.
it is.
Mhm. I
Oh my
remember.
God.
Yeah, yeah. I know you don't remember like you was pretty I was like, I'm good. You just kept you're like, all right. Straight gangster, is it? Yeah, just
That
okay.
is so
So yeah.
funny. That
Yeah.
sounds like me.
And then we went back to work, girl. That's bad.
Girl, let me tell you, I think about that job from time to time, and
Me
I'm like,
too.
yeah, I still, till this day, I still don't see how people stayed from 10 to 7. Still, that
They
was
would
my
have
shift.
to be miserable, right?
That was my shift. I couldn't, I never stayed. I probably stayed a whole shift maybe once.
Yeah.
It wasn't in me. It
I could,
just
yeah.
wasn't in me.
People who
Man.
probably do that all day, I think that they need something in the workplace like a therapist because that would make me I mean it did it made me I didn't want to be there. I barely worked and like my dad and stepmom were like, be more responsible. It's like it's not even that. Like it's my
Yeah,
mental health if I go in there. Like I'm sorry. I can't. I know I have a son, but I was like, y'all are some good grandparents.
you
The way
know,
we're so I was just like, I that that made it worse because it's like I was coming from a situation where, like I said, like I was so insecure and just so put down. I had that was my first eviction. I got evicted, not
yeah.
there, but when that's why I had to move in with my dad because I was in Florida. I was just struggling so bad, like no help, single mom.
Yeah.
I was a hairdresser, but I don't know. I just everything got just piled. I had just lost my cousin. Like everything was just overwhelming and I was like, "Dad, I need help." And he's like, come on home." And I did. They embraced. So I was like, it was my break literally. Like I thank God for that moment because that they were like, just come on, like, yeah, you're our
Right.
daughter. Okay. And um yeah, I was able to like, I mean, I know they probably wanted me to work. It probably looked irresponsible because I was a mom. I mean, I am a mom, but I could not work there. Like I miss doing hair and I couldn't get the license transferred. So my license was in Florida, so I couldn't, like, work in the salon, and I don't
Yeah.
know, I just gave up, like, I'm like, "I'm just gonna" I've never been allowed to just not worry,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
think they offered that where I'm just like I finally have a parent, like, my mom didn't never offer that, so I was always worried living with her or getting kicked out and then worrying about where to stay, so I just like, let me just trust that they're gonna have my back because I can't carry life right now. I didn't.
you
I
don't
feel like I
even
slept through that whole part of my life.
you don't even understand what you're saying right now is exactly where I am. I've been provided with somewhere to be where I don't have to worry
Mm.
about nothing. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
so,
that's why we're here. Let's do it.
so
Yes.
what I have literally been the theme as of lately has been truly embracing the journey, you know?
Mm.
Embracing every step of the journey and realizing the abundance that is already around me. Because one thing that I do not need any more proof of is
Do that.
you manifest how you feel. The
Mm.
universe does not care what you want. And I don't even
Right.
mean that in a bad way because it'll never tell you no, but just in the sense of it's not going to give you what you want if that's not who you are. It's going to give you who you are with relationships, environments, situations, opportunities. It's going to match your vibrational frequency at all times.
And that's
So
why
if you're,
healing.
yes,
Healing,
that's what
because
I'm
if you're
saying.
not
If
healed
you're
and I was not healed in that position, and I feel like I was trying to manifest something that that the universe wasn't gonna get, that I wasn't ready for, and now I'm doing that now, and everything's just like, "Look, we're here today." You know what I mean? Like, this is it.
this is crazy. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of me.
You. I'm so proud of you. Yes, I saw you on the stage. You went to Essence Fest.
Yeah, yeah.
You performed at Essence Fest, and literally a post came on my Facebook and was like, I'm 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 really here, but truly I wanna be at Essence Fest. It was like one of the I was like, and then I saw yours right before. I was like,
Wow.
to be able to
Wow.
perform there, I got so inspired by you.
Oh,
I was
girl,
like,
that
I know we're not real cousins, but I'm glad
girl,
I can
bye.
call
Yes,
her
we
my
are. I don't
cousin.
even look at
Well,
it
I
like
mean,
that.
we are real cousins, but biologic, I'll say, like, from birth, because 'cause I'm
Right,
like,
right.
that there's a legacy that you are spreading for your family. You feel
Oh,
me? And I'm
definitely.
like, I just and then so I kept seeing you, like, post your YouTubes, and I kept going back and listening. I'm subscribed, and I kept going back and listening, and I was like, "I just gotta have her on the podcast." Like, this is this is amazing that it's everything you've wanted, everything you said, everything you've worked for, everything you keep working for. You and like you said in the car, you're like, "Don't care about the haters. There's they're gonna make you insecure. Don't listen to nobody. Don't listen to nobody." I'm just like, "Yes." But I feel like that's what you're doing. Like Essence Fest. Can you explain how that experience I wanna know. How was
I
that
was,
experience?
girl, let me put this down.
Yeah. You're like, "This is getting deep." Like, let me I'm just so proud of you. I'm like, I just need to know the journey of, like I mean, even before that, if you wanna but that's when I really was like, like, shaking for you, like, when you really just like, "Yes, do it. I wanna
Girl,
do that." Like, it's
you.
just I don't know. I don't know.
Thank you. Well, how that came about was completely miraculous. You know what I'm saying? When I say fell out the sky, I mean fell out the sky. And
I know I had
it,
to.
I had literally just, um, I was fresh out of a breakup of 7 years. So it was rough, like it was a really rough period for me, emotionally, mentally, physically. Like I didn't feel like I could, girl, like,
To be able to
I
go on
really,
stage. Wow, hold on. Wow. What ended that, if you don't mind me asking? Because it might help other women.
infidelity.
Okay, that's
infidelity, and also finances and mentality. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
It was more of a
You noticing your worth. That's what it sounds
that
like,
for
because that don't
certain,
sound like anything you need in your life.
but it had to be stripped for me because
Mhm,
I was starting to, because that the home that we were in,
mhm,
I had been on my spiritual journey since like 2018, you know, like kind of before that, but I had been doing it for a while, but that's when it really was able to pick up. That's when I started my spiritual business, you know,
mhm.
at that home. And
So the
I
universe
was
is trying to
getting,
tell you.
yeah, I was just getting more aligned with who I was, not realizing, well, I did realize it the day I say we kind of parted ways, that okay, this is literally happening for you. Like it clicked. This is happening for you and not to you. So
Mm,
let go. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly
yes.
what I did. And right
You
after
accepted it.
that, right after that, I performed at the Essence Festival in July. Um, I think we broke up in May. So I
The
was
universe is like, "You
literally,
just need to let this one thing go because he can't go where you're going, honey."
and I
And you
I
did
literally
that. You
cringed
did that. You
at
look
the thought of that before.
beautiful.
Yeah,
You were so
before.
on stage, girl.
Thank you, thank you so much. It took
Wow, so that means it took a lot for you to
yeah, it took
get
a,
that strength to just go out there, like, I could that's amazing.
it didn't take a lot to really do that, because
Who
that's
you
what I
are.
want. So I was like, hell yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it took a lot for me to heal through that situation, because I say I'm just now really getting over it this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Healing
it's
I
at
tell
the point
people
where I'm
healing
like,
is lifelong.
yeah,
Healing is lifelong because something will come up that you need to heal from, something will keep you stagnant that you're like, "I need to relive."
yeah.
So yeah, I totally get that, but
But
that's
yeah,
amazing.
the Essence Festival was absolutely amazing. So that was just kind of the build up, you know, to the Essence.
Mhm.
That's kind of what I feel like manifested it or allowed it to come into my existence, was me releasing that situation. So now let's talk about Essence Fest. Essence Fest was literally one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my life. I felt like a complete celebrity. Like
Yes,
everything.
I felt like you were too. I was like, "Yes, I know her." I was like, "I know her."
Girl, literally Roxy Diaz from 106 in Park. And like she introduced me, like, you know, like, yeah, she was the host. Yes, she introduced me. And that was an
Go,
honor, because
girl.
106 in Park, I used to watch 106 in Park every
Me
day. Like,
too.
what?
Sorry, I'm like, I seriously, like, that's what I felt like when I even invited you. I was like, I was saying that, I was like, I hope she says yes, because I feel like you are meant to be a celebrity. You
Mm,
fight for that. You are
that's
that, and you embody that. Even when, like, you were speaking in the car, like, just to be in your presence, there's something about, I mean, you're a goddess. You truly
thank
are.
you.
That's why I was like, I need, even if it's for moments, I'm gonna keep in contact with this.
Thank you. Girl,
Oh,
we need to stay in. When you hit me up for the podcast, period. First of all, that was an honor. Thank you. It's an honor to be here, period. What you
it's an honor
fought
to
for
have
this.
you here.
You worked for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your platform. I would have loved to be a guest here, of course. um, Roxy literally, yeah, she introduced me, and
What?
yeah,
Did you get to meet
that
her before? Did you know she was introducing you? Because I would have.
yeah, I didn't get to meet her before.
Okay.
I saw her and I
Yeah.
was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, but I didn't get to meet her before, no. But it was when she said my name,
Yeah.
because she really low key, she said I was from New Orleans, because that's where it took place. She
Okay.
said,
Yeah. Yeah.
New Orleans own or something like that. And I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
just gave
from
her
New
the script.
Orleans. I'm
Yeah,
from
it's like, yeah,
but it was cool. That was
yeah.
cool. But
So cool. That's yeah.
she said my name, and it was like I wasn't like terrified. I wasn't really, I was a little nervous, a little, but I wasn't really
But did
nervous.
that
It
get
was
that because
like,
did that give you confirmation, like I think that's why they have the introducers be someone of that level because that would give me, like that's confirmation right there,
you
like
know what I'm saying? You're right.
'cause I
And
picture
then
that,
it
like,
is
I literally had a
that.
vision, like, I'm just gonna share this on here because 'cause I'm a manifested that Sarah
Yeah.
Jakes Roberts, TD Jake's daughter, Sarah Jake Roberts, she usually has speakers and stuff. She introduced me, like, I saw it in vision, like, that was what I want to manifest, like, that would be to be on her stage, so to just I think that would give me confirmation right there,
Girl, that's
just
light
someone
work.
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you already on that path.
Yeah, I
The
know,
fact that you
that's what I'm saying,
even
like, the fact I just wanna so much stuff has been happening right now, like you're right, just what you feel, because it came back around to where I'm a stay-at-home mom, like, my husband takes good care of me, we agreed to that, we decided that that's the life we live, he's like, "You're able to do you're able to take time and I I journal, like, 3 pages a day now, like, I'm
uh-huh.
able to just keep healing and keep more healing and heal through my children," and he's just coming on home like, "How was your day?" Like, just very
Yeah,
simple. I just never had that, I'm just like,
yeah.
and it was crazy because I met him there, like, in Overland Park
Mhm.
from when I had just left from Florida. Like, I was dating or whatever, but, like, his just background, he grew up in the church, and that always resonated with me where I'm like, "Okay," like, I smoke weed and have tattoos, so are you gonna accept me?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Because he's, like, grew up in the church, he's real Christian, he's never drank, he's never smoked in his life, like
Uh-huh.
not even a sip, a
Uh-huh.
smell, like, he's just and I'm like, but, I mean, here we are married 7 years later with
Wow.
3 babies, and I'm doing this, and I'm like, it just came back around, like, that was supposed to happen because I didn't accept it either, I was just like, "I'm gonna date and, like, see and choose and pick, I think I need options right now after leaving what I left," but I felt so insecure and, like so I was slow on everything, and then I went back to Florida and then moved back to marry him. So I even, like, left, like mhm. It was crazy. It's crazy what you can manifest. I'm sorry, I went off on a
No, you are fine, girl. I am
I'm just
listening.
like, manifestation is real, like
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I need this. I've literally been like I said, the theme has been, just appreciating the journey. And it's crazy because I am very deep into my studies. Like I be very deep into my studies. Even when I scroll through TikTok, my algorithm is extremely educational. You know what I'm
wow,
saying?
yeah.
And
I'm just
I
learning this
love it.
stuff, so I love that you are educating yourself to
Yeah.
get like, you're not just posting and you're not just doing things, you're doing it strategically. I love
You know
that.
what I'm
I love
saying?
that. Yeah.
It's literally like, don't get me wrong. I have no idea what I'm doing. But at the same time,
It's working.
it's working.
Mhm.
And it has been showing me in the most you have to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? If you don't pay attention, you'll miss everything. I literally left Kansas City, um, came to Arkansas with my grandmother, and this was this is exactly where I needed to be. This is exactly what I needed. I should have came sooner. I should have been here. This is exactly what I needed. And it's like I have all the time that I need to feel my emotions, heal through my, you
Mhm.
know, release. Cause I've literally got to a point where I have no remnants. Well, I'm not perfect, so maybe a few remnants of my past, but for the most part, my past is I've taken care of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
yes.
able to
Healing
get
back
through.
like, at first, I tell you have to heal backwards, and nothing's scarier than going backwards, so people miss that, like you said. They'll be in survival mode so long, they won't
Yeah,
even see anything as a sign. So, that's amazing. I'm sorry.
that right
I'm just
there
getting
is
excited. I'm like,
survival
"Yes,
mode.
girl." Yeah.
Survival mode. That
Yeah.
right there. when I say autopilot and survival mode for so many years, and it took me getting stripped of everything, but I never looked at these things that I was getting stripped of like, why me? I never looked at it like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I never looked, it was always a, okay, okay. When my car got stolen, okay, I'm like, maybe I need to just sit down and just be with me for a second. You know, it was always
Mm.
my perspective. I feel like that has
Yes.
allowed me to get to where I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have I could have definitely been trying to make things happen on my own in all ways, you know what I'm saying? But if I have the blessing to come and stay with my grandma, who I love and she loves me, supports me, you know what I'm saying? I have the
Yeah.
blessing to come stay with her.
Yeah, and
I'm
not many people
so,
have that.
you know,
Not many people have that. So that is like, I do. I say God, and I tell people, say universe, whatever you believe in.
yeah,
I say God because I'm like, if we believe our spirit is of God, it's our advocate, then we are gods. You know, like
yeah,
we can really manifest this stuff. Um, we are of God, not. I mean, there's one, but just the fact that like you were just listening to your spirit,
yes,
like I'm gonna be spirit led. I'm gonna let you just take the wheel because right now if I do, I'm gonna, and that's what people do that with that flesh. It's like the why me, why me. It's like when you really look
yeah,
at it, it's like why instead of why me, like why is this happening? What is this trying to teach me?
yeah. Life is not happening to you, it's literally happening for you
Yeah.
through perspective. It's all about perspective.
Mm.
And it's just it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that
It's
shit was it's
healing is
scary.
hard. Healing is
Not
hard.
even just healing. Not even just healing.
Yeah.
Just well, I guess that is a part of healing. Being able to view,
Have a
being able to
different
view.
perspective.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's like I still till this day sometimes I'm like, shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's
It gets
like,
hard.
you know, because it's like sometimes you see yourself being in a certain place in your mind and you know you think like, well, why hasn't it happened yet? Why am I not where I think I should be yet? And it's like that is exactly why the theme has been appreciating the journey for me, because look at everything I've done, look at how far I've come. Like
Yes.
truly sometimes, you know, you get so used to being you, it sometimes it's hard to be able to really see you for who you are. You know what I'm saying? And you truly have maneuvered through. Like everything I've been through, I ain't let that change me. You know what I'm saying? Like people go through some people go through circumstances that they see no way out of,
Yeah.
you know, and
I think about that even just with school shootings, and I'm like, if the person that went in and actually shot up the building got help because of their circumstance to where it got so dark that they decided to go and plan something so evil, so out of humanity. We need more humanity. Um, I do feel like sometimes I separate it from just um then I feel like mm, I feel like when we start to get emotional regulation, we can kind of get our humanity back, if that makes sense.
oh yeah, emotional regulation. That right there, healing your nervous system is something that not as
Everything.
we don't get taught the things that we need to get taught in school, you know? So that's why it's like fuck school to me. Like for real. Like they don't teach you nothing that you need to
Mhm.
really evolve as a human being, you know?
Yeah.
And
You
it's
learned it
like
more in that house. That's when you started your healing journey. How did you know that you needed healing?
girl.
Right, right. I was like, let me catch up because I want to know. Yeah, like we gotta. I want to know, like, not your. Yeah, I do. I want to know your soul. Like, what did your soul tell? Because you said you're spirit led. You're a spiritual person, so I know you felt spiritually led to be healed. Like something like this is what the universe is telling me.
Yes, it was kind of like they was pulling me by my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
Please,
Wow.
please come to this side.
Come to
It's something
come
over
this
here for
way.
you. And I
Yeah.
had no idea what side, what was even being, I didn't know what, all I was doing was following how I felt.
Yes.
So I remember it was a point I never necessarily had to do this, but this was my choice. I was couch hopping and I was living in my car and, like living off
No, what is it? What do they call them? Nomads, right? You're like
nomads. I was
you
a
were a
complete
nomad.
nomad. I was a
Cool.
complete
That's
nomad.
that's kind of exciting. Like if you look back at that
It,
experience, it's kind of exciting. Like I've always wanted, if I didn't have
hey,
kids, I said that to myself. I was like, I would do that. I would get a van and just go live on the beach a little. Like you just have
yeah,
no like, yeah. So you were lucky to experience that. I mean, other people, the like
it
worldly people
taught
will
me.
probably view that like, oh gosh, she's living no. That
It
sounds
taught me.
exciting.
It taught me. It taught me self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't have to. I just didn't want to get a job. I,
Yeah.
I I didn't want to work.
Yeah.
I've had all the jobs I need to have. I was done.
Was the
You know
call
what
center
I
your
mean?
last one?
Huh?
That was the call center your last was that
No.
oh,
Oh
okay.
my
So I was like,
gosh.
that taught me that I
No.
was like, I'm done with work. Like if it's
I
gonna
know that's right, Jasmine. I'm sure if had I started really trusting how I felt then, it probably would have been that way for me a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But you trusted how you felt. You know what I'm saying? And you stood on that shit like I'm done with this shit. Like I
yeah.
felt that way, but I was extremely too conditioned and not putting the blame on anyone. I'm a product of my environment. I'm just gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? So I was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and what I mean is mentally. So literally me, okay, we're veering again. Let me get back on topic. The
Yeah.
question
Yeah.
was,
Your jobs,
how
your
did I,
jobs.
that definitely was not my last job. I
Okay.
had plenty of jobs after that. I think my complete and final last job was Wendy's. I
Oh.
worked at Wendy's. I was a assistant manager at Wendy's.
Mm.
And
I worked at Burger King and when I was a teenager, so I know. I already know.
ah,
Any fast
ah,
food joint that will make you like, I am not gonna be a part of this
girl, I had
systemic
just even getting up every day on
what's hard.
somebody else's time, not because that's something that you want to do too.
Yeah.
Getting up every day because you gotta be there, because you gotta get paid, because and then when you get there, you gotta deal with people. Then you gotta do this. And
Yeah.
some people will say, "Well, get a work from home job." It's not even. It's the principle. That is not who I
I am
am.
not nobody's.
I'm not an employee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I used to feel like I sounded like a bitch when I said that. You know what I'm saying? Or like, okay, let me humble myself. Now it's like, nah, nigga, nah, fuck that. Like I said, like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Like I went, I'm still not at a place where I would like to be financially, of course. However, that is why, like I said, noticing the abundance that already surrounds me is the vibes. You know what I'm
Yes. And
saying?
it's not monetary. Where you're going and what you have to do right now is not monetary. You're not doing it from, you don't need it. And that's such that's like to me equivalent to not looking at the price tag. You feel me? Like you're you're just able to just I love that.
Oh my gosh, you don't even. Whoa, no, Jasmine, no. I was literally talking to someone last week, and they asked me, "What is your definition of success? How do you know? What's something that you're gonna know? Like, what's something that
Made it.
stems from, like, I've made it? You know what I'm saying?" So I'm like, not having to look at the price tag. Like, I don't want to budget for shit. That word is disgusting to me. Like, I don't.
Yes.
I just want to be able to just get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
And live and be me. Like
oh
you're
gosh,
literally just being you every day
girl,
and it's gonna be successful, right?
I am. Man, this is, you don't even understand. This is a gift. This is a gift right here. I needed this. And it's like, if I don't believe, if I am still insecure about anything that I'm doing. If I don't believe after this, I need to be bopped upside my head at this point because
Just go back and watch this, because again, I give you that's why I was like, the people tell me this too. They're like, "Jasmine, like, you're blessing me," and I'm like, "You're blessing me," and I'm like, that's how God will put people. I told everyone that's on here, I'm like, I know it's God ordained because um I look at everything now like as a sign, not survival. I'm not in survival mode. Like, I see everybody in survival mode, working, having to clock in. My husband finds joy in taking care of his family. So for him, this is like his happiness is seeing me happy. So
yes,
I'm
oh
like,
God.
I'm like, I'm like, baby, we're gonna get to a point where you're not even gonna have to like do that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be able to bless you because I get to go and bless so many other people and they're blessing me. And we're all just, I tell people it's like the movie Us, except the good version. Like, we're all holding hands like of light and just like
Yeah,
going. Sorry. I
absolutely.
know that's weird, but I do feel like it's because it's just like, look at what you've accomplished since I met you. And when I met you was 2000, it was in 2018, because that's the same year I met my husband. So that's when you started your healing journey. And the stuff you were telling me is everything. um as a healer, we have to keep reminding ourselves it's hard to live. It's actually hard to live like this, to not look to be, like you said, to have a different perspective and look at like our situation as a blessing, the blessing that it is, because it truly is. I have so much gratitude that, like, I can wake up and I have time to make coffee, and because I
Yeah,
was, again, a single mom, I was taking my son to work some days.
yeah.
So that he's just going off to school and that my kids get to sleep in. We don't have nowhere to be. We're not looking at time. We're like, I'm like, when they wake up, we'll go on a trail and I'll go journal outside. Like, just everything that you don't need like, people think that when you have those things, and even celebrities will tell you, like, when you have those things, it's not, it's like what we're doing just, I feel like we'll just be able to bless more people. Like, I think it's just more of that generational curse breaking. We'll bless our family. Like, your grandma will be set. Thanks, grandma. Remember that time? Don't worry about it. You're gonna be on the red carpet with her, and I'm gonna be the one interviewing you that day. I see it because that's where I want to be. And then this
Oh
is,
my God.
yes. Just remember me. I'm like, "Yeah,
Girl, this
I
this
see
is
this because
everything I see. And it's like,
I
go ahead.
no, I'm just right. Like you said, I see. I'm like, right. Like, I'm just and that's another thing, like, this journey has taught me. Like, I praise dance now, and I was like, I have to do it for my businesses. Like, God literally is like, you have to do it for your podcast, because my podcast was Dear Mama, Hi Daddy, and it was about like generational curse breaking.
Okay.
But as I went through that, I got like certificates kept coming to me. People kept like paying for them.
Uh-huh.
Like, I didn't have to worry about that. Um,
Wow.
and so I got like certified in positive psychology and mental health first aid. Yeah. I have a certification
Wow.
from Penn State, yo. Yeah. Well,
Hey,
positive.
yo,
And I started looking,
congratulations.
thank you.
Wow.
But I
That's
really
amazing.
saw it as a program. Like, they literally sent me a book saying how that perspective and mindfulness outranks like IQs and money, and all you have to look is at your perspective in life and it will change, and have gratitude. Like, they were using stuff that I was like studying in the Bible, because I was like, I'm not going to go to church because I just I just I want an individual relationship with God. I don't want, and so I went and like, I start cross-referencing stuff. Like, I got a study Bible and I started journaling every day. And I was able to do that because I brought some of my toxicity of that insecurity into my relationship. Like, I always thought my man was cheating. His morals keep him away from that. Like, he's scared of God, okay? And I think that foundation in him is what I saw back then, is like, this man won't cheat on me. Like, he just won't. And out of coming from the betrayal of being cheated on with my firstborn's dad, we were 3 months away from getting married.
Yeah.
And
Oh, man.
yeah, it was deep. And the fact that he was like, I got mad at him one day and I just threw a chair, and he's like, my parents, his parents been married 50 years. My father, his dad passed away July 1st. Um, but they were gonna have their 50th anniversary this year, so he grew up in the church with two-parent household. I saw how that made a difference because me and my relationship with my mom, I don't that's why it was dear mama, hi daddy. I was, like, so tormented that I had a living mom that didn't wanna be my mother, and then I had kids, so I'm like, they don't have a grandma, and experiencing that with his family, I'm like, "You really can choose your family." Um,
Yeah.
hence we're cousins, like, you really can choose those
Yeah.
people, and man, I just from there, I just start I'm like, I saw how meditation in the Bible was used,
Mhm.
how Jesus went into the forest and meditated.
Uh-huh.
I started, like, really spiritually meditating, and I'll go and I'll praise dance first to, like, call him to my spirit, and I wanna be spirit led in my journals, and literally, he told me change it to the Healing Homegirls. He said, "You're gonna have a whole bunch of homegirls." Like, I'm like, "How is God talking to me like that?" And I was like, "No, that's myself." Myself, and I know it's coming from God, but it's my spirit, like, to really and I was like, "I need to obtain the fruits of the spirit." Like, I wanna be peace, I wanna be joy, I wanna be happy because I need to be these things for people. I wanna be a vessel, and I don't wanna have my mom's, like, attitude. Like, I won't even blame it on my mom. I think it was learned behavior from just growing up and you see people and you do things and you don't really know your identity. So when I really started to do some self-discovery out by that lake, I'm just I know everyone I meet, they have to be healing to want to come and voice where they are in life, you know what I mean?
To even be able to say, I can look back on that. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
even that's progress. So yeah, you're ready. Like
And that's I feel like that's what you learned in the like, living like you said, being a nomad. Um,
oh yeah, that right there, something that small, they didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
They
Well, back
they
then, that
weren't
generation, they didn't
realizing.
have that's why I'm, like, even with the physical abuse, I'm more even now healing, like, I forgave my mom. I still think no context is a healthy decision, but I've forgiven her
Mhm.
because, like you said, the best of what she knew, that's how they knew to, um parent. That's how
Yeah,
they knew to raise a child. They didn't have therapy or like nobody had time to read I mean, they had time to read a book, but you know what I mean? Like they didn't
yeah,
want to like study those things like, oh, you actually talk to your child and you actually give emotional regulation. I tell everyone always like, look, I got oh, I was like my good old feelings will.
yeah,
I because I'm like all these feelings were we never were allowed to like really have them. It was like be a man. Like my mom's was like, be a man. Be a
yeah.
man. Like or man up, man up. I'm just like, I'm not a man. Like I need to feel. Even men need to feel. I'm like, I feel like that's what's wrong now. We're not feeling
Exactly.
nothing. And that keeps us away from our creativity because sometimes when you're being creative, you gotta cry, you gotta do things. So yeah.
Definitely have to feel.
Yeah.
Emotion is, man, that is it's crazy. It's just like I said, just kind of going back to my mom, like she definitely, like if I needed a hug, I could hug my mom. If I needed to talk to her, I could talk to her. She
Yeah.
just didn't quite always understand me maybe the way that I needed. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of caused, I'd say, a disconnect in my own, not
Yeah.
from her. My mom has always loved me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always loved her, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I just mean kind of a disconnect emotionally as far as like, okay, well, I have to be this for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So um I didn't learn to start truly nurturing my own emotions until probably last year, you know? So and what I mean by nurturing my own emotions is showing myself compassion in all states of feeling. You know, if I feel crappy, if I don't feel like cleaning up right now, I'm not gonna clean up right now. If
Yeah.
I don't feel like um making a song or working on music or doing anything music related, spiritual related, I'm not. And I'm just about to watch stuff all day. You know what I'm saying? So allowing myself, I felt like that space to feel is truly what has got me here because it's like now it's like clockwork for me. Like it's like a second nature to me. Like, oh, okay, I
Yes.
don't feel like doing that. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's
and
okay.
it's
It's
like,
okay to live in that. Like that's
yeah,
who we're meant
because
to.
inspired action is what I move on. I move on nothing but inspiration, inspired action. I don't care if it's going to go do the dishes. Okay, I feel inspired to go ahead and go do the dishes. Now I'm about to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everything flows. Everything just flows. And it's like, because I'm sticking to my guns, I'm allowing the inner work to finally stick instead of just knowing all of this information, feeling like mega mind and not applying it in every way that I could be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now, yeah, it's
With the is your grandma? I know they always say like grandparents are different with the
yeah,
grandchildren. Do you
yeah,
think your grandma's like that with your mom? I
yeah,
get curious of the
like
generation. Like it's probably learned behavior to not be but I always think of our grandparent, like my grandma, because that's where I got that from too. I'm like, My mom acts this way for some reason, you know." So I went to my grandma. I talked to her like a good in my healing, like but no, it was about 4. I won't be dramatic. It was about 4 straight months of just I FaceTimed her and like asked her
yeah,
a bunch of questions. I wrote it down because sometimes she would like forget. I wrote it down. I was just like, um, yeah, so you were definitely this way with my mom. Which you were never I never even heard my grandma curse. So I was like, this is weird, you know. Um, but it definitely I feel like there's just generational healing that happens through what we do, like our creativity and what comes out of that.
yeah,
Even with mine, it was about speaking up about it.
yeah,
Yeah, like no family wants to be, you know, no, it's always like what's in the house stays in the house. But I felt like that was just part of the generational, like, I
trauma.
almost I don't I wanna say, like, it's like a shackled mentality, like, be
Yeah,
free. Be free to have your emotions, it's okay, you're safe now, you know? I think, like, they just never felt safe enough to feel those things, like you said, like, if I it just didn't feel safe in our households,
yeah.
um, but now
Literally, that not feeling safe in the household. That's crazy because it's like from the outside looking in, at least in my circumstances, um, you would never have thought like there was anything, what I'm saying, for me to be not feeling safe about or not, and it's just crazy because like I really did feel even going to college, that wasn't even where I wanted to be. That I didn't want to be at that, particular school. I did want to go to school, but I didn't want to go there. And it's like that I say was my first real point in taking a stand for my own life and allowing myself that freedom. That was my like turning point. That's when I really started becoming a nomad because I dropped out in my third year.
oh,
So
what?
yeah,
That's so interesting. You're like,
it
"That's
was
when I became
like
a nomad." Yes.
out. I'm out.
Oh,
And then, when I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm about to do, but I just I can't. That's not me. I'm not going back. So yeah, became a nomad, literally living in my car, and then couch to couch, stuff like that. And like I said, that phase definitely did teach me I can definitely make something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. I feel like that was like survival mode check for me. Like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
Right, right, like, you passed the test. You won't
like,
do this
okay,
again.
cool. Like,
This is an experience. It's not
survivor, I
yeah.
won. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'll go through it. You went through it with I think too, like, when people say nomad and they explain it, I'm like, "You went through a struggle with such resilience and grace because not many people could survive that." Most people end up under, like, a bridge and comfortable in that, and stagnant in that type of, like, traumatic
Mm,
experience that people, the world views it. But I'm
yeah.
like, you enjoyed it. You're like, this is
Girl,
cool.
I
Like,
was setting
tonight I'm
up
gonna
my
drive to
trunk,
McDonald's and then fall
girl.
asleep. Like, I'm
But
good.
girl, I was setting up my trunk, girl. Like I had my covers. Like I'm like, yeah. I was watching movies on my phone. I'm like,
Right, chilling.
I had my weed, my snacks, girl. I was good. Like, but
Oh.
yeah, I
So out of that,
definitely
how did you get out of that? When you went couch to couch, you just said you went to your grandma? How did that come about?
no, actually, um, after I was living couch to couch, I literally my last couch was what did it. You know what I'm saying?
Last
I was staying with my brother and his girlfriend. And literally they were extremely supportive for letting me stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate that.
Mhm.
But it was just like I'm like, nah, like this is my last couch. I'm like, something in me was just like, you've been learning about manifestation, you've been learning about like you I had been studying tarot, just
Mhm.
I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Something just told me like, just study tarot. Like, of course, it was something that was always interesting when I like heard about it, but it was never prominent in my reality. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
something just told me to start studying it. I was studying it for about a year, maybe, like, just kind of playing with the apps on my phone, like study apps and stuff like that. So I ended up really, learning it. So
Yeah.
I literally at my brother and his girlfriend's house, like I said, I was learning about manifestation, all that. And I just remember I'm like, I'm about to manifest a place. I'm like, I'm about to try to manifest a place. So something just told me I was talking to I had a friend and I miss him actually. I called him my fairy godmother because he came out of the blue at a
Yeah.
time when I needed him most.
Yeah.
And when he just disappeared out of nowhere, oh, I was sick. But I'm like, okay, maybe it's really time for me to stand on my own too then. Like,
Or no,
okay.
I feel like you were asking for it, and God's like, "Here, I'm gonna put this person in place." But that's just hit for, sometimes it's just seasons. We
When
just
I
need
say he
to just
disappeared out of nowhere, I
yeah.
was like, fairy godmother, no. But girl, that's when I really start taking accountability from my own reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I can do this. I can do this. Like, it's time for me to be that for myself, you know? So, um, my, I was at, my brother and his girlfriend's house, and my fairy godmother ordered me my first tarot deck.
Mhm.
It was an oracle deck. Um, he ordered my first deck for me, and I still have it. I call it my OG deck. And when I say I was just a natural. I went into my first reading. I'm like, I was kind of nervous because I'm like, damn, like this is people's lives. I don't want to be playing with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, ugh. So my first reading was someone I knew, literally. It ended up being a pregnancy reading. Like, you're going to be pregnant, here soon, a month later. I didn't even know it was a month later. I hadn't talked to her probably like till a year later. She was like, "Did you know a month later she was like, I was like, oh, I was like, I see a baby." But yeah. So um from there my money just kind of start taking off. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
Girl, money, I'm like, hold on. So it wasn't just so much, but if I was a nomad, I was a broke nomad. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? $10, five for gas. No. $20. 10 for weed, five for gas, and five for food. Do you hear me? Splitting between two people because I most likely had my boyfriend at the time with me, okay? So, girl, I was living like that. Okay. So it was, like $100 for me was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, I did this off of what I just started with these
yeah.
cards, and I'm just trusting how I made this money. Like I couldn't believe that. You know what I'm saying? So readings just started coming in. Girl, I made my flyers. Readings just started coming in, and my apartment just manifested. It was just like I didn't even fully pay for it. You know what I'm saying? The deposit, any money was, if I needed to ask somebody, I all of a sudden had the courage to just speak up. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah.
just like it just came. It just came. It was literally right down the hall from my brother and his girlfriend.
What?
So that was, like I was like the first night that me and my boyfriend actually spent the night, I couldn't fucking believe that I had did that. When I got the keys in my hand,
Yeah, right?
I'm like, hell no.
Right,
I was living in
like,
my
this
car. I
is
was living on the
really
couch.
happening? Yeah,
I'm like, this is,
yeah.
I had a kitchen, I had a bathroom, I had a room, I had a living room, I had a back door, sliding door. Girl, it was, don't get me wrong, I was living in the projects, roaches, okay? But
But
I
but
literally,
you had yeah,
I had a home.
yeah,
And it was the newest apartment on that floor just
yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Like, I could not believe it.
Yeah.
I made that house a home, like until the energy went left. You know what I'm saying? In my own, I cannot blame anybody for my own reality and how things had to play out for me to become who I am, because I'm so grateful for her. You know what I'm saying? So I cannot blame anyone. I understand that me allowing certain things, you know what I'm saying, for so long was what kept me in that state for so long. And that's to answer your question about how did I know that I needed the healing. That right there. It was just like I remember I got to a point where I was waking up every day next to who I thought was my partner. You know what I'm saying? Waking up every day, and I just don't feel right, man. Like I just don't feel right. I was I just wanted to cry. Every day I just wanted to wake up and just cry. Like it was so heavy. It felt so dark. It felt so closed in. Like I was about to suffocate. Like it I was he put me through a lot. Okay. And it was like nonstop. Like once it started, that shit was just like a floodgate.
Ooh,
And it was
I've
like,
been there, yeah.
girl, I'm about to cry talking about it now. Like,
I mean, allow yourself to cry. You can cry here, I promise. I be crying all the time.
definitely.
People be telling me this. I'm like, yeah, like
Girl, I
that's
cry
a
on
lot.
stage. I
That's a
don't
lot
care.
to go through. Like
Yes.
it's people don't understand like there's big traumas, big T's, and then small
Yeah.
traumas, small T's. Like relationships be giving you those small traumas
This
that
shit was a
just will
lot.
wake you up like, okay, why am I making this choice? Because I'm gonna take some accountability here, yeah, but I'm gonna
For
give you some
sure.
accountability that this is just toxic.
And it was like, he was trying to find his own like way of getting out too. But it was just like, then just leave, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't leave. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't
But like
blame
you
him
said,
either.
you both were in the car, right? He was a nomad too, was
Yeah.
he? So
He
he
was
probably
with
was
me.
thinking
Yeah.
like this
And
is like I can't leave because this is better for both of us. But when people sometimes can't accept, like I said, they get stagnant and like wanting bad. Like, why do you you're making me miserable at this point, like coming out of that.
but
That
like I said,
happens.
that's more so surface level. I genuinely just want to focus on what I got from it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that, just speaking on situational things, that kind of keeps me tied to the energy of the past. And I just want to be able to accept what I got from it. So, like I said, I'm not going to place the blame on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though on the surface level, yes, I went through the ringer. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, I allowed it for so long. I allowed it. You know what I'm saying? It was like my worth was here when we met. You know what I'm saying? And that was my own I allowed it. You know what I'm saying? It was not his fault. Like he was just doing the best with what he knew. You know what I'm saying? He has his own generational curses to try and heal and try and break. So it is what it is. And it's just like I am grateful for the experience. But like I said, to answer the question about how I knew I needed the healing, it was when I was waking up every day. And like I said, I just didn't feel right. It felt so heavy, so dark, so lonely. And he was right there. And he
Mm.
was right there. It
Yeah.
felt
Relationships
I
will
haven't
teach you
felt
that.
more lonely in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it was it's like I didn't really have support in what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And he was more so on the, survival mode living,
Yeah.
get a job. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't even have a job. Anyway, he had a couple of them, but we ain't gonna go there.
Yeah.
But you don't see
Yeah.
the vision,
Yeah,
and I
you were
can't
good
afford
for
to see
that
it.
season.
You
I
know what I'm
don't.
saying?
You can stay.
You don't see the vision because baby, when I say this is
Yeah.
what I'm doing, oh, this is what I'm doing. And I'm not getting a fucking job. When
Yeah.
I say I mean that, and I
Yeah.
lived in that apartment after I lived in that apartment with no job for a whole nother year
Yeah.
on the blessings of the universe. Do you hear me? So I was coasting through this smug. I'm like, bye.
Mm.
Like, I mean, of
Yeah.
course I was hurting, but I'm like, like this still my house. Like you I feel like in a sense, when when things don't go how people thought they were, it's kind of like a slap in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like in a sense, I kind of feel like he wanted to see me crumble. You know what I'm saying? And that the fact that that did not happen, and I am higher than I have ever been. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's one I just kind of think about that sometimes like damn, I really wanted to do this with you, And it's like, but I'm hella grateful that I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm
Like I
hella
said, I
grateful
felt
that we
that,
did
like I
not.
said, I was gonna get married. I had a child, but
I'm so
I'm glad. I'm just be thankful. Like I love my son, but thankful that you guys didn't have a child. Like you're able to because
oh,
men will put you. I mean, and we just don't listen. It's like
he
he was
actually had
that lesson.
he
Yeah.
actually had a baby as soon as we broke up. I think that was how he kind of got the courage, to finally, call it off for real. Because he's the
Mhm.
one that initiated the breakup.
Mhm.
So it was probably coming anyway, but
Yeah.
um
But thank
he
God
had a
it
baby.
did.
He literally had a baby right after. Like, I'm sure it was during our last days that he was, fooling with her or whatever, but he literally had a baby right after. And when I found out, because I told the universe, steer me clear from this nigga. I don't
Yeah.
want to see nothing he's doing. I'm trying to heal. I don't have time for that. So it kept me steer clear for him for a whole year. And then I found out he had a baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you mother. So I'm like, okay. That was another hit. You know what I'm saying? But I got over that within a few months. You know what I'm saying? It was just like because it was like, okay, like I was already healing before that. So that wasn't about to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a hit. Like,
Yeah, that's why I
okay.
tell people, I'm like, that's how I know healing is lifelong because things will come up that you need to heal from that weren't there, and then you keep going, you heal, you heal. So I just say it's just we're always healing. We're always in a constant mode of healing once you start this journey. Like it does not stop, and that's how you keep going because. I mean, at least she's dealing with something because it just shows his mentality even from that. And it's like if you didn't hop on the healing train, then you're probably still there's still something there in you, even if he's covering it up with a mask, there's still something there within the year. A year is not that long. Like now that I'm like not really I schedule time if I have like these or like if my kids have a doctor appointment, but other than that, I don't really have time like oh we have to be here we have to, I'm not rushing. So when it's like when everybody's like oh New Year's is coming up or I see Halloween's coming, like I know holidays because I gotta make it special for my kids, but outside of that I'm like a year is nothing. Like we gotta make the best of the time while we're here, especially as this year was going and when COVID I was losing so many people. I'm like I gotta do something different because I want to value the people that I have in my life while they're here if they make me feel emotionally, verbally, and physically safe. Um, and I want to keep going. I want to start being selfish. I was such a people pleaser.
Oh
Like
man. Oh man. Don't even get me started on that. Selfish. Whew, I
Yes.
thought I was being, because I saw stuff, it's like people had no problem, you know what I'm saying? Um, Not everybody, but some people had no problem calling me out on what they felt like I needed to do or what I needed that was best for
Mhm.
me. And it was just like, I see exactly what you need to be doing, but I'm not even,
Right.
I have a lot that I can be
Yeah.
saying, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, my like you said, perspective, when my perspective started changing, because that used to make me so mad. I'm like, now I'm just like, okay, I understand how you feel.
yeah,
Like,
no,
because
for
that's how
real.
you feel. That because even some of the stuff that they tell me, I'm like, you're straight projecting. Like, you need to be doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I got, some stuff is it's good. I take advice when I know like people are on their healing journey or they're speaking from
Yes,
their
yes,
story, their
yes.
own wisdom. When
Not
they're
speaking
like,
from
you need to
ego.
do this, yeah, like don't speak for me. It's only what when I hear stories and what they've experienced, I'm like, that taught me more is sharing the experience.
Yeah.
People try to hide those experiences like they're not like and I see the mask, like, you're not perfect. Just say what you've been through. That'll teach me more, like not to do
But
something.
even like it can be situations where someone is like, well, telling you an experience, but they still acted from the ego. You know what I'm saying? In the
Mm,
experience. Like,
yeah.
so it's like you really do have to use your own discernment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it can be your auntie giving you advice. And just because this is somebody that you trusted your whole life, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean necessarily that's what you should take, like that's just what she did. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it really is catered to your own journey and using your own discernment for real. Cause like I said, like you said, um, learning to become selfish and being such a people pleaser, that's a chapter that I was just able to close. You know what I'm saying? Like I am genuinely all about me. And it's like, of course, I have so much love for me that I have love to give away. Of course,
Yeah.
I'm a
As you
service
pour
to the
into yourself,
world.
you notice things come easy to just do
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
know I am a service to the world. You know what I'm saying? I know that I know my mission. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
I would never neglect the people around me, but I'm learning how to balance it. You know what I'm saying? With me too. Like, well, it's you're first and then people come next. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Setting
I was,
boundaries. Yeah. That was
oh
hard.
man,
That was
placing
hard.
boundaries in certain places where I never thought they'd be placed.
Right. And the
It can
audacity
be
of
hard.
people.
But it
Once
can,
you give them back, like what are you not getting that I want this for me? It's
yeah.
just yeah, that's a roller coaster in itself in healing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It can definitely be hard. Closing chapters with people that I never thought I would, you know what I'm saying? It's just like,
But it's all
damn.
the people, and I yeah, that's why I'm like this. Even like friend breakups, I'm like this is crazy. Like I knew this person, so and it's hard. Like and that's healing. It comes up where I'm like, okay, I need to give it a week of like I need to go journal or I need to go for a walk. Like I find those things, the different holistic tools that I'm finding that like help me release those things because I'm like I just know that God is saying like they can't go where I'm going. Because it's
Yes.
going to either be a distraction or there's good parts of jealousy where it's inspiring, but then there's that bad part where it's like people will project and I'm like, I can't have that, but I will when I get the blood. I journaled, I'm like, if I ever had like $1 million, I would just show up to them and give them like, you know, five grand in an envelope and be like, this is just to bless you and but still not have a relationship with them. You know what I mean? Like there's people in my past
Yeah.
where I'm like, I would bless them
I thought
financially.
about that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I've journaled that.
That's
Like
crazy.
I
I
would go
thought
back and just bless them like here, but they still can't go where I'm going. And like I feel like you're seeing that part of that discernment, like you said, discernment. That
yeah.
is discernment is like knowing that God, you're not what is good for my path. Like where
Yeah.
I'm going, you won't be able to accept those blessings because I'm going to be
Yeah.
blessed. It's going to be an overflow.
Yeah. That's crazy. And it's like I've literally trained myself for this. I literally look back like, oh my God, I wouldn't have wanted my success any sooner. I
Hmm.
wouldn't have wanted it any sooner.
Yeah.
The shit that I learned, you know what I'm saying? This self-mastery.
Yeah. Yes,
If I
mastery,
I
that's it.
I cannot imagine being a celebrity, being famous, being in the public eye, being successful with the trauma that I was carrying. Ew. Like
Yes.
gross. Like
Yes.
ew.
Well, it
Like
wouldn't have
oh
worked.
no.
It would have been like we wouldn't have been able to accept those blessings. And I see that just I know our stuff will intertwine and we have our separate stuff, but I'm just speaking on just like our businesses. Like we wouldn't have been able to accept it back then. I think even now, like I wouldn't have been consistent with my podcast back then. I wouldn't have met the people. I wouldn't have had the mentality to talk to the people that
Yeah.
I needed to talk to back then. Like it wouldn't. I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the I was very insecure. Like even like you. I mean, you saw me. Like I was just like this little like hurt puppy. Like just like
Yeah.
I don't want to. Like I just and then I had this perspective on like female friendships because the first relationship I had was with my mother and that I really had to heal to understand like God's humor and stuff. It's like one um my insecurity and just the relationship with my mom, that's how I viewed all female relationships. But then now he's like, no, you're gonna have so many homegirls. And I'm like, his
I
humor
love
in that,
that.
right? And then two, okay, I couldn't I mean, I had trauma around dancing because my mom just like discouraged it a lot. And I was like so embarrassed at this talent show where she's like, don't ever do that again. So I just never danced in front of people. I was so insecure. And so eventually I just don't know how to do that. Like if people are there, I get shy, you know. I like to be alone in my room.
Yeah.
But then it's so funny. He's like, now you're gonna praise dance, and not only are you gonna praise dance, I want a public God loves public displays. He was telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's like, not only are you gonna dance for me, you're gonna post it. And so I started praise dancing. I've been praise dancing, but I started posting it recently. Like that was recently. He told me that in my journals. Like I'll take a blanket and put it over. Because also with praise dance, I start getting books on it. Because I'm like, what is this? In January I was like, I'm gonna do in my business. I tell people go back to their inner child and heal what you were discouraged from.
Right, right.
And mine
I'm
was
sorry.
dance, and so no, you're fine. And mine was dance, and when I in January I started taking ballet like
Uh-huh.
online, and God told me before my prayer and to start listening to worship music, and then I just started dancing. I'm like, what is this? And so I called my cousin. She's like, oh, and I was like, I think God introduced me to praise dance. And she's like, did because she's been a praise dancer for like 12 years. And
Mhm.
she's like, "Did he?" And she started telling me like what she knew, her wisdom from it, and then I got books, and all the books were saying that it was a prophetic ministry.
Wow.
And I was like, "Wow, that's crazy," because he built my business, Jasmine's Home. It's a mindful coaching business,
Uh-huh.
and I started getting like just I had one client, and then that one client like spread to two clients, and then she knew somebody, and so it was like three clients, and then this place that she worked at was like a nonprofit. So then the people that needed help, the therapists needed meditations. They wanted to try
Mhm.
meditations. So I went and did into the workplace and did like a healing circle
Mhm.
and did the meditation after. So I was like, God is just his humor and things is
Yeah.
crazy. And being a prophetess, which you are if you're into the tarots, you're usually
Mhm.
a prophetess. It's like you see those visions for your life that
Yeah.
like I'm just like we're gonna those people wouldn't be able to be a part of that because I don't even see them there. Like I'm like they wouldn't
Yeah,
be able
me
to accept
neither.
that. It would
Crazy.
miserable people like do not want to be in. They can't not be in. They can't accept it. They can't accept that
Yeah.
anything's that good. They're gonna wait for something to go wrong. It's
Yeah.
like a hyper vigilant that like they're just waiting for trauma or waiting for the trauma to begin again or
Yeah.
something's gonna go wrong. Oh no, we're gonna lose it. I'm like, no, where I'm going and the lessons I've learned, God wants me
I
to have
deserve this.
longevity. Yes,
Yes.
longevity. It's gonna be more and more and more.
Forever.
I'm not trying to,
Yes.
yeah, it's not going back.
No, oh my God, that right there, the not going back, like, girl, it's definitely been times I've just stopped and thanked myself, like, thank you for
Mm.
putting in that work because we never have to learn that again.
Yeah,
We
right.
never have to, we never, we're not even gonna attract or align with
Yeah.
anybody on that frequency nor vibration.
Yes.
So thank you. Like, damn.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So enough of the heavy. Let's talk about
Yes,
music.
I'm sorry. Let's get back to the music. So where are you at after Essence Fest? What's been happening? Because Essence that was in what year was that?
2022.
Yeah, so that was just last year.
Yeah, it was last year, last
So
July.
so what has been coming? What have you been attracting now? Like where are you now? Now it's just
Well, now, since I am deep in the country, it's crazy because you never would think, or at least me coming down here, when I was younger, because I would come every summer, and it's like, I didn't, of course, my mind wasn't this expanded, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I never even would think that I would have opportunities popping up for me even down here. I got invited to be a part of the University of Pine Bluff's homecoming.
Yeah.
So if that takes off, I got I had the pleasure of performing at Juneteenth down here. That
Yes.
was honestly that
Wow.
was an honor. I love,
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciated
You're like,
that
"I'm
for
doing
sure.
it for my ancestors." Yeah, they
I'm
were like,
like,
"We're
this is
I'm bringing you back
love.
to the
Like,
land. We own this." It's like,
I'm like,
"Yes,
this
I
is
love
love. I'm like,
that."
I got y'all. Like, thank you. Like,
Wow. Yeah, your
oh,
ancestors are so proud of you. They're like, "She's breaking so much generational stuff
I
right now." Like,
know,
they giving
right?
yeah. Oh, so proud of you.
Thank you.
Wow.
I have literally been on a cruise.
Yeah.
I've been to New York City. I've been to Orlando, Florida. I have been places because my mind has expanded and I've allowed myself to be who I want to be and fully. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the more I shed, the more opportunities, even if it's not just with music, the more opportunities come. But it's like, yeah, with music, now it's like more recently, I've been getting I've been doing a lot of music reviews on TikTok. They have lives where a bunch of people, all around the world just do TikTok lives where they host music reviews, and you can submit your music and they'll review it for you. And also the chat, they can say their opinion. So I've been doing a lot of those lately just off the feeling. I'm not even going in those looking for anything. I'll just be doing them just to get my music reviews.
Yeah.
I've literally met a few people I want to collab with. I met some producers. I've met some dope people in there. Like, I've met some engineers. I've met people that,
You are on your path, girl. Like that, it's so
dude,
crazy. You have
like,
to go somewhere slow pace. Like even like me being in Florida and then Overland Park, and then I am now in Missouri. Like you said, it's country. It's just it's there's land between houses. Like you have land to go and walk on and travel and go on trails and just be outside nature. Like I feel like Garden of Eden. Like I'm like God's a garden. Like I started learning about his character, the gardening, the plants, just being out there and coming back and like you said, like people get like collabs, like this is a collab, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
it
like
is.
God loves public displays, and we're just in this day and age where he's like where it's a blessing that we do have the internet because we
Yeah,
can stay home and do this stuff,
yeah.
and it's working from home, but it's working for ourselves. Like
No,
it's our
exactly.
business.
Like,
Yeah, your music is your business now. Like that's
I wouldn't
that's
want to.
wild.
I wouldn't want to work for anybody else. Why would I want to work for anybody else? You know what I'm saying? It don't even sound right. Why would I want to work for you? I'm working for me. Like,
Yeah,
what?
and you have so
Right?
much to do, like to
Yeah.
make music, to make the soundtrack, to make the YouTube video, to record this stuff. Like there's a lot of work that goes into all of this stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
content. Yeah, like
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Being a content creator is hard work, guys. No, so we don't
It
put
like
that on
it's
there.
not
Like, it is.
easy,
We're not just home
but
chilling, but we are able to fill our cups with self-care, and we deserve that. We just deserve. We're not meant to clock in and work for somebody that we are replaceable if we've died. Like I want to spend my life doing what I want to do for me.
fulfilling
That's
my legacy.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
life.
for real. It's just like,
And just know, like, because I'm like, I want a wellness center and I want to have like a grand opening. And I was like manifesting artists. And I'm like, just, I want people to come out and like, I want to have poetry nights. Like, there's certain things that's coming, that we are, I just now, I know meeting all the women, all the women are doing things like that. Come on here. I'm like, I just want to have like a retreat or something, like something's coming that it's just I love collapse. Like I never
Yeah.
the way stuff can manifest and just be invited back to things, even if it's like years. I'm not saying it's gonna be like next month, but like 5, 6 years. You know what I mean? Like just to reach out and be like, I know that person. Like no, like
Yeah.
we are the next generation that's coming. Like all of their hype is just so negative and just too. It's like we're in this generation coming up where it's like no, we're bringing humanity back. I feel into
Highest
the
consequence.
yeah.
Yeah, we're literally that's our job. And I had to we are kind of veering off music, so let's
Yeah, I'm
after all
sorry.
this. But okay, I do want to answer that though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had realized that I was trying to drag people with me. You know what I'm saying? I had to realize that I wanted people to see. I wanted everybody around me just to see, like, no, this isn't how we live our life. It's different. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, this isn't it. Like, expand your mind, expand. Just
Yes.
we are meant to evolve. We're not meant to stay like this. You know what I'm saying? So I had to realize that I was doing more detriment to myself, my own well-being, by being so concerned with others making it too. You know what I'm saying? And others
Yeah.
getting it too.
Yeah.
So
Like, why
yeah, I'm
can't you be
glad.
happy? That's how I was. I'm like, join my mind. I was like set like giving people free sessions.
Yeah,
And I'm like, just come to it. Like, you have to do this. I was so set on healing, or for me, I was so set on honestly healing my family. Like, I'm like, you
yeah,
guys need this. But they didn't want it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people who don't want it, I have to keep going. But it got
yeah,
to it was because that was discouraging. I'm like, why wouldn't you want this? Like, am I wrong? It had me question.
yeah,
And the more I journaled, I was like, just certain people maybe they'll come after, and that's fine. Be there with open arms if again you're emotionally, physically, all that safe.
right.
But if they don't want it, then just you have to leave them where I have something they need to be shown another way. You're not
Yeah,
that, you're not going to be that for them. So that was a hard lesson too, the discouragement I got from them. Like every and then you always want like them to be the biggest supporters, and it's like even my husband, he said,
right.
he's like the people that are like right here, and he did it at circles. He knows I'm sensitive. I don't mess about my family. I could talk about them, but you can't,
Yeah,
but he's like those people that are like right here, they're probably not like gonna go. You need those people, those supporters that like are the people that always do put likes on your stuff, like because I'm like, why is my family just viewing and they're not like, he's like, they
I
just
was feeling,
don't pay. He's
yeah,
like, don't pay attention to that. Those people, they're probably not going to like he used like just pay attention to those outer people. Those, and I
crazy.
have like 5 people that always listen to this podcast that have, I mean, there's downloads. I just got to 18,000 downloads. Last month it was
Congrats,
21,000.
honey.
Yes. Last month it was a little
Yes.
more. It was at 21,000, but this month it's still upholding more than
Yeah.
10,000. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's at
18,000.
18,000.
Like, come on now.
Yeah.
What?
So they're listening not to every
Woo.
single episode, but there's episode everybody's listening to something. But I have these
Mm,
5 people that always comment and I'm just like, you gain that like fan base. Like it's crazy, but to just keep your head on straight through this because you like healing's lifelong. Certain stuff's gonna come up that triggers like certain things, and it's just like they just can't go. And I have to remind
yeah,
myself, and that hurts because it's like the people you want to go the most, like
yeah,
need to be there. And it's like you just have to just keep going. And that's crazy about just what being a content creator and manifesting that. Like people don't believe you can have like an income from that or have a life from that. Or
yeah.
I think, and then I think because they look at monetary things because they are in that work, they're
Survival
survival
mode
mode.
still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, um,
This episode probably gonna be called survival mode because I'm just like, we're out of that.
yeah, literally, literally. I had something I wanted to, what was I
I'm
about to say?
sorry.
Um, hold on, it was good. Give me 1 second.
No, take your time. I'm like that. That's why you see I bring a journal because I have to write it down so I don't. Yeah.
Um, damn, that's fucked up. I really forgot.
Take your time.
I forgot, girl. I was, it, I can't remember. It'll come back if it needs to.
Was it
Um,
about manifestation or um
yeah, hold on, yeah, yeah.
people in manifestation or
Okay, I remember exactly what it was. It's like some people don't necessarily realize, like, because I wasn't even realizing it at a point in time how rapidly I evolved. So it's like
mm,
I could be
I read that.
I could be in a completely different mindset than I was last week. And I know that probably confuses people around me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I know it probably does, but it's just like I evolve so rapidly these days because I've let go. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn. Like
It's almost scary, right?
yeah, it's definitely it's like I am who I think I am.
Yeah.
And it's like I can honestly say that now. Like at first, it felt like I was pretending when I would say, not pretending because I know I get there one day, but it just didn't feel genuine when I would say like, oh, I know I'm going it's like I always knew in the back of my mind, okay, yes, I'm gonna get there, but I
Yeah.
do not know how. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't feel genuine, back then, like just kind of flaunting my stuff because I was insecure too. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like now it's just like, nah, I definitely know,
I'm
like
this person.
I'm definitely her. Like I'm definitely her.
Yeah.
Like what like I get proof that now that I'm able to embody, that's one thing. Embodiment. That's another thing.
Yes.
You you will not become who you see yourself being
Mm,
without change, without allowing change and being that person right now. If
yeah.
you can embody that person with the materials that you have around you, with the resources that you have around you, if you can embody that person right now, even if I see myself in the freshest gear. I can't wait to dress
Yes.
up. But
Yes.
right now, I got what I got, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
grateful what I got. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
it's like, girl, my girl, watch every day. It ain't
Mhm.
rolly, but
Yeah.
you
I love
know,
that.
but it's like, this is what makes me feel like Indica. Like this is Indica. Like Indica be fresh, Indica be cute, Indica is her, Indica is she's fun. She's not too serious. She don't take nothing too serious. She literally be smoking her weed, minding her business. She is a businesswoman. I have been embodying the crap out of her. And at first I didn't believe it because I wasn't seeing any I felt like I was doing the work and I was not seeing any freaking results. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not as fast as I was liking to, but it's just like now I see why. Like, cause now I'm starting to actually my habits are starting to embody her too.
Right.
My mindset is literally starting to anchor into her. It's like I can't go back. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that right there is a blessing in itself because like I said, I literally just move off inspired action. So to know that this is her that I can trust, oh, we in the
Yeah.
game. Like,
Yes. Yes. I'm telling you, I'm like, people don't understand how our biggest tool, the biggest tool to use, the basic holistic, because I say holistic and people get scared. I'm like, is your spirit. Like when you connect with her and you realize you're never alone, like, because I
yeah,
felt lonely. So I needed my man, and it's like when I had
yeah,
that break and really just was like, I'm just going to with me. And it's crazy because I did the healing in within my marriage. And I literally was like, no sex, no, nothing. Like, I was like, I told my husband, I was like, I'm just gonna need like a little separation. He's like, are you leaving? I was like, no, I'm not leaving you. Like, I want to connect to me and
yeah,
because I
yeah,
never had that opportunity he's he was a blessing to come in my life to bless me with that opportunity. Like
yeah,
he is such a reserved man. Like he's just like okay. Where I'm like I really was like what do you want from me, spirit? What am I supposed to like what is this? And literally is find something you're good at and just keep doing that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Everything, every piece of studying that I've done when it comes to metaphysics, spirituality, everything that I've studied has literally, it all boils down to embodiment. It literally does. It
Yeah.
all boils down to, like you said, finding something that you are passionate about, that you love, that you could wake up every day and do and be happy. Finding that and running like hell with it. And
Yes, sprinting, like
yes,
girl, it's a marathon. Like they say
yes,
it is. But
yes.
I love this like journey, all that I went through. I love what I'm on now, like just to breathe. Even with my clients and like in my mindfulness coaching, I have to first teach them how to breathe. I'm like, people forgot how to breathe. I'm like, breathe from your abdomen, just breathe, just take a moment and breathe. And they're like, like they're
Yeah,
that's bad. And I'm like, and that's happened with like all my clients. I have
yeah,
8 of them. And I'm like,
yeah.
they forgot how to breathe.
They
And
did,
I do
never
that. If
knew
I
how to
do,
breathe.
yeah, yeah,
They never knew how to breathe. Ain't that something so simple that we do every day to keep us alive? We probably breathe a million times a day.
yeah.
And it's like,
Like you can't stop and take the deepest breath. And I tell them like deepest breath. I wake up and like I have morning ones. Like before this, I had a couple morning ones. And so I'm like, just our deepest breath of the day first, breathe, just breathe for deepest breath of the day, deepest breath of the day, deepest breath of the day. And I keep repeating that. And I'm like, how do you feel? And they're like, good. Like sometimes you just need that to regulate your nervous system because the stuff that we are about to enter is going to it makes me so nervous to like jump on every call, and I have to do about like 4 or 5 a day of just hopping on doing virtual stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's so nerve-wracking, but now I'm like, now I go into it with like such excitement, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like this is real. This is really
yeah,
happening.
yeah. Like this is who I am. I'm really Jasmine with the podcast. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
like with the certifications and everything. This
Yeah.
is really who I am. And you get to be her freely. So trust your body. You know what I'm saying? Trust how you're feeling. Trust your body is your navigation system. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
trust your body. Trust how you are feeling. Because if you're tired, that means you need rest. If
Mm.
you're inspired, that means take action. If you know what I'm
I
saying?
used to
Like,
feel guilty with rest. I'm like, my kids, I gotta be
oh
up. And my husband's like,
girl.
no, go to sleep. Like he's like, go to sleep. Like he even
Especially
sees I do. And I'm like, I feel bad because he's working all the time. And I'm like, he's like, no, like you are doing a lot, and I do
that
have
right
to, we have to
there,
allow rest.
that validation that he provides you, I just want to
Yes.
hug him for that because I
Yeah.
genuinely, I'm getting that from my grandmother, and I never had this either. I never had nobody really like, I see you. No, I
Yeah.
want you to keep doing what you're doing. I see you, and that right there means that's all I need from anybody right now. That's all I need. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
it's
all
just
we ever
like,
needed. It's like once you
oh
get
my
it, you're like,
god,
baby, really? Like
and
you just
it's just
worked a
like,
12-hour shift, and he's like, you were just with the kids for 12 hours. And he tells me he's like, I couldn't do that. He
yeah,
so that all the time, and it's so special because we're working. So much stuff is happening. Like even just like when we're working on getting a house. He's just like, you need a room for all your stuff, like your content and your
oh, he's
supportive
supportive
and
as hell.
yeah,
I
like
love
I'm
him,
like, oh,
girl.
I gave him that Gawk 3000 quick. I was like, yes, daddy. Yes, I
Like,
do.
you know,
Thank you.
lay down, sit back,
Oh,
sit
I
back
love him.
now.
Yeah, I love him so much. But
That
sorry,
is
I
so
veered. I'm just
amazing.
like, but just people come in your life where you said like you just need it. I never. I'm just, and then it's just everything. Like once we just saw the numbers keep going up. Like girl, we were at like 9,000, 10,000. It's growing. It's not like lowering. So I'm like, I know this is
Yeah.
just keep going because I used to feel foolish of like just it's I never posted nothing. Like I feel like no one's seeing that. No one's really, but no, just everyone can have an audience. Someone is going to need that. You know what I mean?
And then we weren't even in the energy back then. That's
Yeah.
why we weren't posting. We
Yeah.
weren't aligned
Yeah.
with it back then. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I
Like,
wouldn't believe it. I didn't because I'm like, how am I, I don't even uh, yeah, I wouldn't have even believed what I was posting. I would have just been, I don't know. I don't know. But now I can talk about it and like I mean, it was an experience. It's just showing our growth. We've been on this earth long enough to have that wisdom. Like, we had a whole experience. We had a whole decade of experience of men, of men that weren't for us.
Yeah.
All of it. All the choices, like, I feel like I've lived many lives. Especially,
Oh man.
yeah. Like, living in Florida, that did it for me. It's so fast paced there. I was like, I would not, and my husband's all the time. He's like, I want to, I'm like, I would rather us buy a house here and then travel because
Yeah.
this, I need land. I told him, I was like, I want like farmland. I want like a greenhouse. I want, and
Yeah.
he started looking for stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. I want a deck in the front yard. I want a patio coming out my, um, our our room, and I want land. I want to see land. I don't want to see other houses and move. I want to go travel those, and we
Yeah.
can even spend a month because we'll be able to.
Yeah.
Time
Yeah.
will be on our side. We can go to New York for 2 months. That's cool. I want to come back to this, to our family, and it just, yeah, girl, I'm excited. Like, I can't wait because, like, girl,
Girl, no, for real, because that's what I'm saying. Like looking at the price tag is gross. I'm not out here.
it's
Like
gross,
if I want to
right?
go to Africa for
Right.
a year and just
Yep.
get a house there right quick and then just
Yes.
leave it, because
Yeah.
I don't even gotta sell the house. I might
Yeah.
even go back. Like,
Yes. Yes. That he says all the time. He's like, "Well, I want to move to Africa." And I'm like, "You do." That's what I even I was watching Sarah J. Roberts. She had a guest. She lives in Africa, and she's like, I lived there my whole life now, and got put her she's now moving to India. It's like, that's possible. Like,
mhm.
we can do and still come online and record, and people are like, that is inspirational to be able to live in our full, like you said, embodiment. Like,
Yes, technology is truly a blessing, and I'm grateful for it. Like
you're
for
right.
real.
I don't care what nobody's.
Yeah, like internet is truly a blessing. I'm grateful for it. Like I feel like
Yeah.
it's gonna play a huge part. Like just as it has been, it's
Yeah.
playing a huge part in evolvement. You know what I'm saying? Healing
Yeah.
evolvement.
Even education is different. Like, you can learn stuff faster. You don't need a degree. You can
You
literally
don't
just
need,
get a
girl. I'm just,
certification. You don't even, you
I'm
can
just
go
gonna
on
say
the
that.
internet, and that's what they do in school. So the internet has made education easier for, you know what I mean? Like, I just, like, it's easy.
I literally learn everything. If I have a question, I just look it up. But of course, I get a lot of downloads too. But it's
Mhm,
like if I'm while I'm piecing my downloads together, doing my research,
mhm.
if I have a question, I look it up. Everything is that's a part of my research. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah.
everything literally just falls
It's
right into
right there
place
on them.
whenever
Yeah.
I want to learn something.
Yep.
Like, and you know what's crazy? I have gotten more. It seems like these days the stuff that I'm learning now, I can't go to a YouTube video and look it up like I could when I was first learning about,
Mhm.
meditation and stuff, like the
Mhm.
basics. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that I'm on now, oh, I can't just type this in Google. I can't just
Yeah.
look up a YouTube video on how to quantum, well, maybe not quantum leap, but just no, because that was back then. But it's just like the stuff that I'm on now is so potent. It's like
It's only for you
if
to release.
and then it's on TikTok. Like if
Yeah.
I have a question, I'm finding my search engine to be TikTok.
Yeah. And
And it's
that's how the meditate,
crazy.
it just comes up. Like, it's like the phones obviously are hearing us. They do. But it's like that, it, like, again, I think that is supposed to happen because it's helping us manifest what we're talking about. Like, I want this.
Yes,
And it's like, literally, this is how. This is how.
yes, yes. And I feel like it's like that because TikTok is the most authentic social media app that we do have. And
Yeah.
it's people really are putting out a lot of information, and people are waking up. This is the new age. Like we said, the new everything is about to get swept away, and we
Mhm.
about to be coming through just like we coming through now.
Yes.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's
Yes.
like this right here, this sweep,
Yeah. It's
the people
all,
that are providing this information, such as me, such as you, such as the people on TikTok, everybody, it's like we
girl, we
all
gotta do a
play our
live.
part.
We gotta schedule a live at least like once a month or every other month. Like, we
Please,
gotta
I
do
would
a live.
love that. No,
Yeah.
for real, let's do
'Cause there
it.
would be
Let's
so
do
many
it.
yeah, yeah.
Girl,
Girl,
we
I got
need
my
to do this
planner.
twice a month. Like
Oh,
something
it's
like it don't matter, girl. This is my life. Like I'm open to this.
yes. Hold on.
Like
My screen just where did you go? Do you see me still?
I see you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
You're fine.
Oh, there you are. Okay. So much stuff just came. Someone called, and that one call put up like several.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
But
Um,
okay. You want to talk about music now?
yes, yes. Let's give it 10 more minutes. I think this one's probably I'm gonna do a part 1 and 2.
I was thinking that. I was
I
thinking
think I'm
that.
gonna do a part 1 and 2, and then because I do it, and then I'm gonna come back and do like a part 3 and 4, like a bit after so many lives. Just like I do, I
Okay.
tell people, I was like, schedule as many as you, just to update all the people in the past, because they were, there's people talking about their traumas, and I'm like, I want to know where you, because I'm like, this is where we're at now. I want to see where, even if I
Yeah.
have to record it, and if I'm able to pay, like I said, like a retreat, and just see where everybody's at now and record that. Like,
Right.
that's gonna be my content. Y'all are helping me with my content. That's why everybody's like, no, this is what's real. I'm like, again, you're blessing me, because this is gonna be, I'm
The
telling you, like, I'm going
exchange,
to record your guys' journeys.
the
Because
proper
I always
exchange.
said that, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be in the, like, front lines. I'm just supposed to, it's like, I explained to one of my clients, I'm like, it's like Beyonce, like, she goes out and does all that. I could
Yeah.
never. But she has someone that manages to plan the stage, to get the people to come for the lighting, to get the, what I mean?
Yeah.
She has people behind her. I'm that person for multiple people. Because I'm like, I
Okay.
don't. And it's like one of those, you take a picture, like, you don't know who that is? Like, she helped, she interviewed her, she knows this person,
You don't
that's a
know who that
connect,
is.
like, I really want to be the connect.
That's what's up, honey. Hey, everybody, that's what I'm saying. Everybody is passionate. If everybody played their part that they was passionate about, everything would just flow.
Exactly, just be who you are. Like, I'm not that. I can't
You
go on a stage and cite a rap like that. I
everything
am
would
trying to get more
flow.
comfortable with my poetry, but
Oh yes, honey. You
I'm like,
speaking on a mic, you don't even realize what this is doing for you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
you're
because people
speaking in
are like,
front of people, like you're having to interview people. That's getting you comfortable on a microphone, getting you
yeah.
comfortable speaking. Like you're already doing
Yeah,
that.
God will put you, like, like I said, like, he's putting me in places of like practice and
Yes,
preparation, preparation.
girl. This microphone ain't even on, and I've been sitting here with it this whole time.
The
Like,
microphone is, oh,
like this is how I
that's
practice.
cool.
You
That's
know,
dope. That's
I want
dope.
to be able to when I'm in, my interviews, because I've had interviews before. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
when I have more, I want to speak up. I want to know, okay, be positioned with the microphone. Don't be out in front of Lurker. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Don't be too far back. So I'm low key practicing with this. This is practice for me. This is
I love
practice for,
that.
the more interviews that I have to come. Like this is an energy exchange that is exactly what was needed for the both of us
Both
in
of us.
divine alignment. Okay, so
And I'm
it's
gonna end
all
with
good.
that. I'm gonna end with that for the podcast, because
You
that
good.
that is, it's so much. And I tell people that, I'm like, the when I gather with women, I call it collective wisdom. And I kept calling it that before I knew what it was. And I went and looked it up, and it literally was talking about a group of women getting together and
That's a
talking. And I was like,
download.
I was like, what? I was like, yep, again, we just know these things, and stuff comes out of talking about it. It's like, I want to be that stillness, that I can do those professional interviews, because I want to be, like I said, growing up watching 106 Park, I've always wanted to do stuff like that. I've always
Mhm.
wanted to be a journalist, just I wanted to be a positive journalist.
Uh-huh.
Like, I want to do positive journalism, like, not like Shade Room, although I do watch and love it, and it's my entertainment. But I want to do, like, what are you feeling now? How did you get here?
Yeah.
Like, I want to do those heavy stuff, but then come back around, and the people I meet bring me back to, like, you can have fun too, like, we can have
Right.
fun. So I love
Right.
everyone I'm meeting. It's like, it's doing that for me. So, like you said, alignment is just, what's today's date? Sorry, 11th.
And
Okay.
okay, thanks for pointing that out, because it's just like the energy of the old reality when it came to September 11th was very dark. This new
Yeah.
energy, like I'm literally on your golden podcast on a beautiful day, about to go eat some fire food after we get off this podcast. The energy is just so different. You know what I'm saying? Like we've quantum shifted, we've quantum leaped. This is
I
a
didn't
whole
even
new.
realize it was the 11th.
You feel me?
I'll
You didn't even
edit this
peep.
out. I didn't tell. I put out. I was like, "What's today? The 11th." I just said that, and I was like, "The 11th, the 11th." And you're like, the dark. It. Wow.
9/11. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't even realize it was the 11th. So that's what I'm saying. The energy is different. We're not in the same reality. And I am proud of us for that because we've been doing the work and we got here. We made it to the new earth. Damn. Damn. Damn.
Again, confirmation every time,
Oh man.
every time,
It's real.
confirmation. That's
It's real.
crazy. Because I was saying that, like, I was like, we need to value our lives while we're on this side of heaven, like, because I say the other side is freedom, like being able to have time to breathe, being able to have
Yeah.
time to journal, being able to sit here for out, like we ain't gonna like this is crazy, like like I've never had a part one and part two, and I journaled that. I was like, eventually I want to do a part one and part two with someone. Like it was literally in this journal, and
Okay.
given that to me because it's the
Naturally.
like literally like just
Yes, honey.
like this is crazy. Okay, we're gonna do like because I wanted to get on that too because again I wanna be comfortable with getting in front of the camera, and that's gonna be my practice with
Mhm.
just talking because you get they say do the lives, you'll eventually get more. That's how you I want to gain more followers. I want to gain more people to listen to this.
I I haven't hit 1,000 followers yet, so I can't do lives yet. That sucks.
Yeah.
That shit sucks. So I'm trying to definitely get
What are you at now?
I think like almost 300 maybe.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm just trying to get my it's gonna happen naturally. I ain't tripping. Like
No,
definitely
it
get
is.
my
I
followers
when
up.
I started that, I was just like more when I go through TikTok and like people's stuff, I leave comments, and then I joined a follow train. Like I joined a mom follow train where they're like, if so you can even start one for yourself. Like if you're an artist, a new artist coming out and like play your music and have your say something of like do a follow train, add a purple heart, a purple and red heart in the comments or something small so they don't have to a heart, and I'll follow back. So you do the follow for follow that way. That's where I got a
I'm
thousand
gonna
followers
actually
that
check
way.
it out.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome.
Because I'm just like, what did I do? What did I do? How can I help her? Because that's what we're supposed to do is become a resource. That's what I tell people, just become a
Oh man.
resource for everybody. Do that, do a follow train. So do it with like new artists and also I'm doing a certification now. I have 3 more months I'm doing for digital marketing. So if you ever need me for that, remember me.
Hell yeah.
Okay. I'm in 3 months because and you know what's so crazy? So January 1st is the date that I should be done.
Girl,
Yeah.
I
So
cannot
so all the stuff
stand.
I've learned now is like, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
When
So
I
if you
say
need
I can't
that's why I say I
stand,
want to be behind because I feel like that's where I'm gonna make my money. Eventually I want because that is God knows the desires of our heart. Like I want my husband to stop working. In order for him to stop working, what do we need? We need his income, and his income is not small, honey. So I need
okay.
that he will work. And like even when they give him 2 weeks off, like his union gives him 2 weeks paid off, he'll go and get another job at like Amazon. Like just he was like, no, I'll get that check and then that'll just boost our fund, like that'll boost our savings. And he knows he's like, because I know y'all women, you need something a man don't know about. I want to, I know about it, but I want to give you that money for your account. Like he'll tell me this. That's
Oh,
what God. He gave me everything
you
I
are
needed
so
for.
safe. Oh my
Yes,
God.
thank you. Right? I
You
tell
are
him all
so
the time, and he's
safe.
like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "You don't
What do
understand."
you mean?
I am glad I tell him all the time. I'm like, I'm glad that I found you here because he doesn't know his worth. Like I'm
Mhm.
like, you are humble. Like he is because he was born and raised here, so he doesn't know he was in Florida. I was like, if you were in Florida, you would be a hot boy. Like he don't even know. He does not know. He don't know his worth. I try to tell him, but
Oh, he's gonna see being with you. He's
yeah,
gonna see.
right. Because I'm
He's
like,
gonna
you don't
see.
understand what
It's
you're allowing me to
inevitable.
do here.
It's inevitable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you make him feel like such a man, and he probably
Mhm.
don't even realize the stuff that's
Get
already.
so
You know
much
what I'm saying?
pride from
He's
it.
gonna see it. He's
Hmm.
gonna see. He's
Yeah.
gonna see, honey. He probably feel like such a wolf girl, the provider.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
he does now. He's just like, I know that like my family needs it, he'll bring just when he's walking in with boxes of diapers and stuff. I'm just like, you don't even know. Like I didn't have to go to the store for that. Like
you
he's like, well,
deserve
well, I
that.
wanted to get home so you can sleep. And he'll apologize to me, girl. I know I took too long. I'm like,
You deserve that. Oh, that is so sweet.
yeah, I will say that I'm like God, like I needed that. I needed that. Like my son
Girl,
needed
you're like,
my son
yep.
he met Emmanuel when we were out there. He was 2, so he's always known him. He calls him dad. Like, it's just the perfect. And even with us co-parenting, like, I get along with his stepmom, my son's
Mhm.
stepmom. His father's married now, and since he got married, he stepped up too. And he goes out there for the summers, and she's a kindergarten teacher. So like
Oh,
me and her, yeah, and she's a praise dancer. So like we follow each
wow.
other on TikTok. We helping each other. She has her own content. Like, girl, like I'm living the who has that? You know what I mean? Like, like look, I love me some Damaris. I'm gonna say that. Like, I be
I am
calling her.
so
I'm like,
happy
say
for
Happy
you.
Mother's Day to your stepmom. Like,
Right? Like now.
she'll send,
That is
yeah.
so
Even with the other
sweet.
two boys, I had them. She sends stuff like she has the girls, and she has two girls, and it's just I don't know. We it's just good.
It's so nice to see you so
Mhm.
happy,
Mhm.
Jasmine.
Thank
Like,
you.
oh my gosh, it's I can feel your energy through this phone. Like, you that's why I'm
Thank
smiling
you.
so
Yeah,
hard. Like,
I'm just giddy. I'm always giddy. I'm just like, this is
oh
I
my
deserve to be
gosh.
people don't think it's possible to just be this happy. And I always question that, like, because they're like, why are you so happy? And that made me not who I was to
Mm,
like, they're like, calm it down, and I'm like, once my therapist was like, you don't need therapy, just let people experience you. Literally, she kicked me out of this. She's like, you don't need therapy. She's like, you can stop seeing me. I want you to just live and let people experience you.
that was
Literally.
she. I'm grateful for her because
I am
she could
so
have been
grateful for her. Elena.
money hungry. Right? Shout out to Elena.
Yes.
She could have been a money hungry, just regular therapist living in survival mode in the matrix, but she
Yeah.
was aligned with her. And that's what I'm saying. That's what happens when you are aligned with you were seeking answers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You were
That happened
aligned
from
with your
the
path.
sexual that would have never happened if I because I was like, why did I post that of my sexual assault? I was like, but I know I needed to heal from that because I thought it was just normal.
Oh,
Like everybody was like, you're just being fast. No, I wasn't comfortable with that moment. Why do I feel and so she made me realize but the only reason I found her was because I posted that on TikTok and
mm,
people was like, hey, the statute of limitations is lifted. You can report him. Like, and
mm,
they're like, and I was like, no, I don't want to. And people were like, well, why didn't you report? His daughters came on and like harassed me. I was like, that's my dad. He never, and they're like, why don't you report him now? Report him now. I was like, you know what? That probably would be a good idea. So I did. And they fund it. Like when I reported him to go through the court process, they fund you a victim's fund where you use for therapy. And
mm,
so I did it. I was like, well, I clearly probably need therapy if let me try it. And I did 4 months. And she literally was like we worked through it. I was doing everything I was doing, but just more like it just made me just like come out of my shit. Like it liberated me. It
yeah,
did. And she was a millennial. Like I asked her that. I was like, can I have a millennial?
yeah.
Um, so and she did that. She was just like we went on there and she started doing meditations with me at the end. She's like, how does that feel? You feel kind of tense right now. She did like a small meditation and then I started doing everything and she's like, keep going, keep doing it every time. And I did. And then I found the business Healing at Jasmine's Home. And then my podcast that I prayed and did more of that. She's like, just get you. She's like, that's what you do. Just get more spiritual. Like, she's like, you're praying. She's like, and she even asked, she's like, who says you have to go to church? Like, she's like, do you not like talk to God when you're not in church? She's like, she even aligned like my spirit, like it fine tuned everything. And she was just like, she's like, I just want to tell you, like, I do recommend like you just do one more so we could say goodbye, but I don't think you need me. I think you should try to do it on your own. And she's like, just go let people experience you. She's like, get on that TikTok, get on, she encouraged it and I did. And
Wow.
this
Because
is
it's
this is
time. It's
yeah.
time. It's time for the recognition. And you're getting that because I see you. Everybody sees you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see you. Like, good job, girl. For real. Oh, man, that's beautiful.
You. 'Cause
Beautiful.
I
You're,
want that, and then like you said, I want that for everyone. But like I was saying, like everyone who needs it,
yeah.
who is working on it, who wants it, because many people can't receive that.
Yeah.
Many people don't like happiness. I realize.
No,
Um,
I don't think it's that. I think
yeah,
people are just so you can be addicted to worrying. You can be addicted to struggling and you don't even
yeah,
realize that you're in that cycle. It's
yeah.
just so familiar that that's just what it is. You know
And
what
see,
I'm saying?
that was the last thing I learned is actually a name for it. It's called dissociation. You
Mm,
dissociate from the situation because you're stuck in your trauma. That's literally what it is. Whether it's a small trauma or a big trauma, because you can just be cheated on and that's a betrayal trauma. But you have to
yeah.
go and relive that, write it out, journal it, cry it, allow yourself to cry and feel those moments
Yeah.
and then move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, girl. Okay, so you can't do lives yet, but just do that. Do the follow train. I'll follow it, I'll repost it to you on mine.
Okay, cool, cool.
And then once you get the 1,000, I'll because I need to do lives, and maybe I'll start
Well,
doing
I
like
can join.
meditation.
I think I can I? No, I don't think I can join. I don't think I can join if I don't even have the followers, do I?
I
Like
don't know.
if
Do
you
you
were
want to try
to,
it?
you can definitely try it.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm definitely gonna do the follow train. But
Yeah.
yeah, we can try to do. You can try to invite me, and I can try to join. You want to just do that like right quick after we get
Yeah,
off of
that
here,
yeah, I
just
was
to
like, let's
see?
try it just to see if it
Okay.
works and then we'll log off. But yeah, because I do. I'm like, that'll be and then it'll get us both more for like we do. We just need to um, not every day. Of course we're not stuck together. I need to, but just every now and then just collab with women.
Yes,
Yeah, because I'm
we really
definitely
do.
yeah. Where were you born? You
Kansas
were
City.
born. Yeah, so you're from yeah, so that's just another thing. It's like I see the inflation happening here because I'm on the
Hmm.
border. I'm in Liberty right now.
Hmm.
I see the inflation happening. When I lived in Denver and they legalized marijuana and I left
Hmm.
and came back, it looks different. Florida, they medicalized it and they won the Super Bowl and I went back, everything's changed. And
Hmm.
now I see here they're doing patterns like they're building a Starbucks, Burger King, and a Whataburger and a Casey's gas station. And they're doing that in every like district and I'm like, oh, the inflation's happening. And now I see even the land over here, they're building an apartment building. So people know 5 year the constructors and stuff. That's what I'm learning on Google with the digital marketing. They said
Hmm.
in 5 years, that's what's happening for 5 years in the places that don't have it yet. So ours, we won the Super Bowl. So of course we got money from that. They're changing it. Everything changed, even downtown, like they're building stuff. So I'm like, I want my wellness center in Zona Rosa before. Let me manifest
Yeah,
that.
and that's what I'm saying. People don't even realize it's just time to get on board so you can have that money, so you can be a part of this, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm about to be one of the people that don't give a damn how much rent is or anything.
Yes.
Like, I'm about to do what I want to do. Like,
Yeah.
man, I
Yeah.
would hate to be in one of them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I'm gonna look back like you need some help because
like, you need
and
some
that's all I
money,
can
bro.
offer. I'm gonna start yeah, because that's what I'm gonna offer with the digital market. I'm gonna just offer classes for people to take and help with their content and like
Yeah,
because that's a need and I feel like I'm good at doing that. I have a love for
girl,
learning.
let me tell you something about marketing. I've been teaching myself marketing and it fucking
Yeah.
sucks. I hate it. And so
But see,
to
I love
have,
yeah,
and
you'll
that's what
find
I'm
someone who yeah,
saying.
you'll meet someone.
So boom, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
I pay
we
for
need
Canva. Like
people
my
like
husband,
you.
yeah. Yeah. I was
Yes,
like,
we
"Can I
need
buy
people
this stuff?"
that
I
love
have
that.
monthly, I have the edit, and that's why I tell people I'm like, "This is a blessing." I see now because they haven't been up with their content, but one girl she's been using my content of I send the edits for this. You'll get the
Mhm,
visual and you'll get this audio.
mhm.
And then I'm still working on our camp. I just finished the ones that I was paid for, so I try to get
Uh-huh.
those. 'Cause I'm like, I want to
You're
respect the
good.
money.
You're
But I
good.
sent those, so I just started working on ours, but like I just post things and so ours will be posted on TikTok and hopefully get you some followers too. I mean, it won't be not that I have many, but like people see it, like
Right.
it's so I'm like even if they just if you have a clip of music or something you want to
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably find a clip from here of something you when you're like Indica is I was really feeling that I was like I'm probably gonna
Okay.
I was in my I wrote that down. I was like, I want to kind of clip that because you're like, Indica is beautiful. Indica is confident. And I was like, that was beautiful. And I love that name. So I'm just like, yeah, I got you. I'm really excited
Yeah,
to
make sure I ain't
even
having
now,
to
like
cross
even my husband, I'm
paths.
like, I'm like excited to edit this. Like I tell him, I'm like, I love like I have my blue light glass.
I know
It's
that's
gonna be
right.
good. I like doing stuff like that. I've
Okay.
always loved doing that. Even when you met me, I was at Full Sail for gosh, what was I taking back then? um Pretty much professional photography. I was a
Yeah.
photographer out there. I was doing that like on the side, but I just wasn't getting clients. Now I see I'm like I wasn't meant to do that. I'm meant to just I love the edits of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm because even with me working on my website, it's gonna be up January. I'm gonna have that certification January, and everybody that I'm meeting, I'm just gonna come back around like, hey, I wanna start it off with like small like here's a $40 class if you want to try, or and I could give you,
Right.
it's just even just the little things people were like that's helpful. So I'm ready. I'm ready. And everybody just keep like you said, like we're just gonna all keep working and I can't wait to see. Like this gonna be I'm excited. Every time I get
I'm
on here, I'm
super
like,
excited.
I know something's about to happen. Like for
No,
all
for
of us, it's
real.
crazy, all of us separately, but then I know we can come around and know and that's what humbles people is
Yeah.
being that resource. Like I got that collab that
Yeah.
humbles me. So
Yeah. We all about to be at the top in the
Yes.
same rooms with each other, and just like we are now. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like this is nothing but up. I feel great about what I'm doing. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So
proud
just
of
keep
you.
doing you, keep existing. Thank you for this opportunity, girl. For real.
Thank you for coming on.
Of course, of course. Thank you for giving me the chance to let my light shine. So
Yes, girl. Oh, everything you've been that's oh gosh, even just, record your journey too. Like that's hearing you talk, like the more I hear you talk, like on your TikTok stuff, I'm like, she's saying so much in that short amount of time. And people they don't even know like how much like you get those in therapy sessions. So I'm like, no, she
oh,
gotta keep
for
on
real.
like you gotta just that's beautiful. Your music's beautiful. You're beautiful. Your
Oh,
spirit's beautiful. Everything you're manifesting is beautiful. Your life is going to be beautiful. It is beautiful. Oh, I
thank
just,
you.
girl, go, yes.
Well, I have fun. And
Me
I
too.
cannot wait to do this again. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon, girl.
I'm humble.
Oh,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna
Oh,
log
let's
off
do
from,
the
yeah, I'm gonna do
live.
the live. Yeah, hold on. Let me stop this recording.
Okay.